Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, today is the third Thursday of the month, which means it's time for Dillon and Reebs from Well Your World. They'll be making a cheesy Sriracha Kale Chip, freezer Cuban Rice and Beans, and Cajun Mac and Cheese. Welcome them to the show. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Always,
To be here.
you are very popular with my audience.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it. How's everybody doing? We are making some simple, fast, easy recipes. You know the Well Your World way. If you don't know us, I'm Dylan. This is Reebs.
Hi.
She just got her hair dyed super purple. Check it out.
Like Barney the dinosaur.
Do they have to get it white to get it purple? Because you're
Yeah.
naturally dark haired.
Yes. It's like a dirty brown.
So, but they have to do because I tried to dye my hair purple a long time ago and it wouldn't take. But my understanding is you have to get it lightened to get it dark.
Yeah, you have to go blonde and then you cover it back up. It's a process.
The two-step process.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty easy. I just cut it for every few weeks and getting a bald spot a little bit more over time. Nothing else to report.
Nice.
Hello, everybody. We are making the most delicious recipe we just came up with. We sent it out in our newsletter this week, just this morning, in fact. Cajun Mac and Cheese. That one's going to be a ditty. We're doing a freezer Cuban rice and beans and some Sriracha Kale Chips. And the reason we chose these three is because we've got a deal going right now. Check it out. We've got all three of the items that we're going to be using on today's recipes are 20% off. You can buy them in a bundle and you'll get 20% off in our store. And we do have free shipping to the USA for all orders $50 or more. If you don't know of us, we do have a YouTube channel called Well Your World. That's where we started before we were doing anything else. And just making videos about health. And that grew into making healthy food products like the ones we're going to use today because they save time. The whole point of our existence here on the internet is to show you how to save time and make sticking to a plant-based diet really easy. Cut all the corners, don't do all the fancy stuff, and save time. And our products help if you can get them. Not everybody can, and we always offer other ways of, doing things. For example, we're going to use our cheese sauce mix today, but if you can't get it, search Well Your World cheese sauce, and you'll see me making it from scratch, and so you can make your own if you can't get it.
Diana's asking, do your items contain any seed oils or sugars or preservatives?
All of our products are 100% SOS-free. I would be embarrassed to come on Chef AJ's YouTube channel unless that were the case. So yeah, we adhere strictly to the way Chef AJ eats, except that we do use in some of our cooking, not in our products, but in some of our cooking, some of the overt fats. Like today we're going to play with some cashews. I've got an avocado maybe I'll put on top of the Cuban bowl and those kinds of things. So that's really the only difference. But we are totally SOS-free for our products themselves. Of course, some of our people will add a little bit of salt. We're going to put some miso paste in our cheese sauce, but those are just optional things. We also have a cooking show. In fact, we have a cooking show, live cooking show tomorrow. We're going to be doing an It's Too Hot to Cook, all recipes that don't require a bunch of heat, like ovens and stoves, to cook. So you can keep your house cool now that the summer is nearly upon us. Here, it's definitely upon us.
It's been summer for a while here.
But I suppose technically there are, another 5-6 days until the solstice. Anyway, so we do this live cooking show, which is really fun. This is kind of a version of our live cooking show, though on our live cooking show that you can sign up for on our website, we don't use our products because we have people that join us from all over the world that can't get our products necessarily. So the purpose of the live cooking show is not to promote our products like we're doing here on the Chef AJ show, but rather to show you really fast, easy ways to do scratch cooking at home so that you're not having to work hard at every meal, which makes this a really tough thing to stick to if you're having to do new recipes or follow a meal planner or things like that. That can be really just too much work. So we're all about making it easy, not worrying about all the minute details, which is very much the Chef AJ and Dr. Doug Lyle approach. Dr. McDougall was always very, no frills. And that's what resonated with me. Well, not that it resonated with me. It's the only darn way that I could actually stick to this. If I was trying to get new recipe books all the time and do these fancy multi-step recipes, I couldn't hold on to the healthy way of eating. I was just going and getting the burrito across the street. So that's kind of my shtick. We do sell cookbooks. They're all very simple, easy recipes, just like we make on our channel, on our cooking show.
Don't forget about our clearance items too.
We do have some clearance items as well. Our ketchup and a couple of other items are on clearance. You'll see that on our website. Those ones are 25% off. And of course, our members to our live cooking show, if you sign up and become a member first, you get 10% off everything and you can stack deals. So the 20% off bundle that I was just showing you would be closer to 30% because you get another 10% off. Okay, shall we cook?
Deals and deals and deals and steals.
If you have any questions, write them in the chat box. AJ's here, Reebs is here. Someone will say your question aloud and we can talk about whatever you like. I don't have, these are such fast recipes that they certainly won't take an entire hour today. So if you want to talk about something else, we can make it a short show, whatever you want to do. I am very malleable. You can lead me down any number of paths based on the questions you ask Reebs. We can make it a 2-hour show.
Have you ever seen Dillon do a plant rant? It's really easy to get him going.
We have our live hangout today where we're going to be live on YouTube, just sitting here. Normally the live hangout is the day before our cooking show to make sure all the equipment's set up and working in time for Friday's cooking show. So we're doing that this afternoon too. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get on our newsletter if you haven't. That's all free and you'll get everything that we send out. Okay, let's cook. We're going to start with by the way, the recipes that we're doing today are down in the description box. There's a link that the ladies have prepared a nice PDF with a picture and the recipe. And we're going to start with the cheesy Sriracha Kale Chips. This is like the easiest thing. It's a really handy snack. It's nice to have snacks at the ready, especially if you're brand new to this and you're not used to spending more time without a full stomach. Then I always recommend you're just always full if you're new to this. Eat so much veggies and non-starchy and starchy stuff to stay full and satisfied so that you're not tempted to go do that easy thing, which is to go eat garbage. So we're gonna make some chips because people like crunch. So we've got a bunch of kale here. This is probably a couple bunches of kale. And that's a bad example because it's literally tiny. But
hey, you guys, Did you see the thing in the chat from Diana? Have you heard about APEEL, appeal, being applied to all our fruits and veggies, including organic? Do you know anything about that?
I do not know anything about that. No, I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell me, and we'll look into it. But I'm not sure.
I'll
For the
Google
most part, though, I can tell you that broadly speaking, I do trust the food, even the not organic stuff, from the grocery store. I don't grow all my own food. I do grow some greens, but I don't grow all my own food. I'm not the type to, if they're feeding it to everybody, I'll eat it too. I'm not like the activist who's going to go out and try to make sure everything's organic or whatever. I'm here to take the readily available food on the shelf and get the healthy items into your belly, meaning the not animal products, the not processed oils, the not junk food. Get that stuff out. And I don't know what appeal is, but I would say that it's a lot more important.
All right, it's saying that it keeps produce fresh for longer thanks to the help of a little extra peel. Our plant-based protection slows water loss and oxidation, the primary causes of spoilage. It dramatically slows the rate that produce spoils. But what is it,
Sounds like somebody that's trying to cash in.
It says it's composed entirely of purified monoglycerides and diglycerides, edible compound. I don't know, but I think they're doing this to all produce now, whether we want it or not. They're saying it's non-GMO, but I don't know.
I can't imagine they're getting away with doing it to all the produce. I mean, you can find local growers of greens and this and that. You can get on a local co-op if you're really worried about it, and you can find other sources of your produce, but it would obviously be unfortunate to hear that they're killing the population of people with some additive that they're using, but that's kind of outside of what we're focused on. Do your best, but make sure you're eating the right items, regardless of how they're being treated by your grocery stores or whatever. And so I've taken kale and I've just I've just you watched me kind of rip it off the stem. You can cut it into smaller pieces, but once we get to massaging and everything, it's gonna kind of shrink in size. So you could just leave it as these bits. And let's start with that. Let's see what happens. I haven't made these in a little while, and the directions on there say bake them. That method works great. I wanted to try it today in the air fryer just to see what happens. So this is literally 3 ingredients. We have a really delicious nutritional yeast that is non-fortified. There's no added anything to it. I am working on a B12 only fortified nooch that may or may not be ready by this year. That's a more intricate process because we have to work in the labs. But it's this one here that we sell on our site is non-fortified, and it's the best price. It's better price than the Sari brand on Amazon, and there's one other one on Amazon. Some of the ones on Amazon though are claiming to have like B vitamins even though they're non-fortified. I would stay away from that stuff because those are some real weird claims. Anyway, all we're doing here, check it out up close, is pouring on some sriracha. The sriracha is like a medium, in my opinion. And then throw on, I put some amounts, like a half a cup of sriracha and a few tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Do you think I ever measure it? No, I sure don't. So I'm just gonna kind of start with that, and we'll start just rubbing it all together. Get your hands dirty.
Dill, can you use other greens like collard greens or mustard greens for this?
Yeah, I think you could. They need to be a hearty green. You can't do it with romaine lettuce because it's just gonna turn into mush, I think. But with this kale being a tough green, I think it would work well. So I think you could try it with, I personally haven't done it with collard greens or others. Back to you, Reebs, while I wash my hands. But I think it would work.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning the power greens from Costco. Sometimes I really love what they have at Costco, but the last time I went there looking for that big bag of spinach, they didn't have it. And I was like, oh, drats.
But I don't think that would work well for air frying.
No, probably not.
So that's probably about the few tablespoons that I called for. This is great. You can kind of tell that it's wet, but it's not like soaking. It's kind of like a dressed salad, but not like where some restaurants, if you get a salad and you have to ask for the dressing on the side. Well, not to mention because the dressing is always awful for you, but they put so much sauce on things. Okay, one more hand wash, and let's put this on the air fryer basket.
Carolyn is asking, I love your t-shirts. Will they ever be on sale? They are indeed on sale on our website. We have a bunch of really silly and ridiculous ones. I'm wearing my Kalia shirt today.
Does she mean like on discount sale or just for sale? We don't usually put our shirts on sale. I suppose we could do a promo shirt.
Maybe
we've never done
was
that.
What she was asking.
Because we don't like make our shirts in-house and then have an inventory. I'm gonna keep talking while we work. Keep working while we talk, rather. But so when you order a shirt, it's made to order. It's shipped directly from the printer. That's why if you order our food products and a shirt, you're gonna get 2 separate packages. So the shirts aren't like a big part of what we do. And there's not like a much profit margin in there, to be honest. So that's why we haven't really discounted them. They're kind of just a fun thing to spread the word and enjoy a veggie pun or two. So I've just spread this out, check it out, on the air fryer basket. But like I said in the recipe, it says use a parchment lined baking sheet and just bake them for about 15 minutes. That works excellently, but I don't know if we've ever air fried them, so that's what I wanted to try. Let's turn them on and we'll come back to those a little later.
Who says you can't have chips on this way of eating? Marla says do a t-shirt bundle.
A t-shirt bundle? Oh, how do you choose? That could
be fun at the holidays, maybe.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, that's interesting.
It is hard to choose because there's some t-shirt designs we have that are just like completely out there. Like I look at how many people ordered it and it was like me and one other person and I'm like, thanks that one person.
Well, that's the fun thing about the shirts is you can make a design and you're done the work. So it can be a silly design that some people like, and you have she's got a lot of
look what you're wearing.
Until we meet again. That's a good one. This is one of my favorites. This is a good one. Okay. So we'll check those. I put 10 minutes. We'll see what happens with the 350 in the air fryer. Normally I would do probably closer to 12, it says on here. Okay. So we'll see. Maybe I need to turn them. Maybe I should put 5 minutes and check them. How about that? Okay. Next one is a very simple free. Can I move on, or are you anything else?
Which shirt is the most popular? Do you know?
The arugula one.
Is it still? I haven't looked in a while. We had some new ones come out, like this one, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And we always reveal our shirts during our hangout. So like our Thursday hangouts, like we're going to do today, will be when we put the shirts on the screen and then we pop our heads out like we're wearing them, and it's real embarrassing and silly. And so we do that couple 3 times a year or something, and everybody votes on them, and it's quite a show. Okay. The next one, we're making a freezer Cuban rice and beans. This is the way we eat during the week, okay? The next 2 meals, especially, that I'm going to show you. Like, I like snacks. I like having snacks available, but honestly, I sort of don't do that much snacking personally. I like to make it for everybody so that you've got options and things that help you to stick to this. But for me, these 2 meals, these are the things that we really eat because they take virtually no time to prepare, which is why this might end up being a little short today. But they're so delicious, yet so simple. And this is where our products really shine because they save so much time in the prep work department. So let's get to it. So I've got the steamer pot back there on the stove in the corner there, and I'm just gonna throw a bunch of stuff in it. I'll show you, I'll just go over there and show you, and we'll open this. I just took it out of the freezer right before we got started. Have you seen these bags of frozen rice? You can get them at Whole Foods. Sprouts usually has them.
Trader Joe's.
Trader
Joe's has them.
Yep. And they all seem to look the same. They all have this red stripes on the bag. I think they're all the same exact product that's just private labeled. Whatever.
I think so
Works
too.
for me.
No taste difference.
So all I do is I have this is my little steamer pot inside a pot. I really like this style of steamer pot, but I don't see them very many places. This was originally the Costco brand set, but they don't make it like this anymore, so I can't recommend it. The ones that Costco has now are coated with that Teflon or whatever, and I'm not really a fan of that stuff. I like stainless steel. Okay, this is also from Trader Joe's. These are the fire roasted peppers and onions. On the recipe for this one, I put a bag of peppers and a bag of the diced onions. But if you can get this is a really great option. I love this one. I do wish they were cut a little smaller, but whatever.
Yeah, I love those. I love those so much.
These actually are smaller than I thought. Like, lots of the pieces are pretty small, so they're not too big. Works for me. Okay, close that up. Let me get the rest of what I gotta get over here.
And you know what? Chef AJ always says, if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, you
move.
Get out of there.
But when Trader Joe's is out of these, it's terrible.
It sounds really extreme, but you're absolutely right, AJ. You have to create, your environment for yourself, and you've got to find easy ways to stick to. What's more important, that you're where you grew up or whatever, or that you have a
Trader Joe's? Exactly. Thank you.
And so I would have no problem moving if I was in a rural place that had absolutely nothing and I just couldn't stick to this and I couldn't stay healthy. Then I would move because my health is number one. And I would hope that my entire family would move with me. It's not that much to ask. I'm kind of joking. Okay, let's go back to the stove. Well, we can't use that, Reebs. Bye.
I'm out of here.
I've also got 1 can of black beans. I'll put this on. I put the other stuff in on the bottom. It'll be more heat. The beans are just from the can, so we're really just heating the beans through. And then I take the Calypso. This is our kind of Caribbean mix. I don't know if you can see it with the light, but this is the Calypso. This is part of the bundle. And I do not measure. I mean, we put a measurement on there, but I just put a whole nice big layer. There's just lots of garlic. Our Calypso was kind of designed after the citrusy garlic from Trader Joe's that's full of salt. The Calypso is our version of the Trader Joe's citrusy garlic that's actually good for you, and we use really high quality ingredients. Not that Trader Joe's doesn't, but I know that where ours come from, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what our Calypso is. If you like that citrusy garlic from Trader Joe's, here's the no salt version. Try it out because it's really excellent. This is one of the ones that we sell to the cruise line, that Windstar cruise line. They buy this by the pound. They buy this by the 25 pound.
Oh, wow.
And they use it along with our Galaxy dust in a lot of the dishes on the cruises that they do that are the healthy cruises where you can actually eat SOS-free. Can you believe it? They haven't invited me on a cruise yet, but we'll see.
Susanna says, I love that Dillon and Reebs are showing us regular weekday meals, quick and easy and tasty.
That's what we're all about. On our cooking show, sometimes we'll do things that are like a little bit fancier, but not really anymore, to be honest, because I feel like in the last year or two, we've really come into our style that resonates with most people, and that is to not do frilly stuff. You know, I've been doing this cooking show for 5 years, like next month, and it hasn't changed a lot, but the types of recipes we've honed in where I think we add the most value to people's lives, and that's keeping things really easy, really fast and simple. And so for this dish, all you gotta do is wait for everything to be heated through. You know, if you put frozen stuff in there, give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. You could overcook it like those peppers and onions, so don't go too long. But it just needs a few minutes to heat through. If you knew you were gonna make it, I guess you could you could put the veggies in the fridge instead of the freezer. But in a steamer pot like this, what does that save you? A minute or two of steaming? So I think that's the great thing about this is you don't have to plan for it. You know, last time we were on your show, AJ, we showed everybody the meal rotator, which was all about picking 7, 10 meals that are on your rotation. We put them on the inside of the pantry door, and I always have the ingredients because I have a very standardized list of ingredients that I buy at the store, all the stuff that anybody, no matter how they eat, has probably heard of. And that way I don't have to plan for my meals. I just know that all my meals already work with the ingredients that I've got. And I look at the list and I'm like, that doesn't sound good right now. Nope, that doesn't sound good right now, but that one does. And then I'll make that. And I've already got everything. And it's one of the really fast meals. So that's what our meal rotator that Reebs made for everybody is for. Okay.
We're bringing back the recipe cards.
We are bringing back the recipe cards, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole book of recipe cards in the
Grandma
future.
had her recipe cards in a box tucked away. Your recipe cards need to be on your fridge where you can see them all the time. Like Susanna said, she added on to what she said previously, and she's like, well, you guys had a baby last year too, so we have to have quick, fast meals. Well, everybody's busy.
And the wonderful thing about that is he eats the same as us. You know, yesterday I was on baby duty while Reeves was doing the hairdo, and I made a quick, I chopped up an onion, a bell pepper, a zucchini. I sauteed it to soften the veggies a bit, and then I made a chickpea pancake, a chickpea omelet out of it, which was just the chickpea flour, some nutritional yeast, soy milk, maybe some garlic powder, and I made, and then you just mix it with the veggies, put it on that nonstick griddle, and he chowed down on it. He actually set it down and applauded it, and then went back to eating. I even put a little bit of cheese sauce on top because yesterday my lunch was literally, I had no time, so I chopped up a potato and another zucchini because I was out of cauliflower, which I forgot to ask you to buy. And I made cheese sauce and I just steamed potatoes, zucchini, cheese sauce on top. I ate like 5, 6 potatoes in one sitting, and it was the fastest, easiest meal. He loves to eat that meal too, but that was during the day when he was at school. So it's really easy to feed anybody this way.
Wait, he goes to school? Isn't he like 1? He goes to school?
I guess daycare. They call it a school, but it's a daycare. It's a daycare. He has fun. He loves the kids. That was 5 minutes. Let's check these.
But he will be going to Montessori school in a few months, and I would call that a school.
That is a school.
They teach some actual real life skills there.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Okay, these don't need any kind of turning yet. Let's let them go another 5 and see what happens. If you're on a parchment lined baking sheet, you may need You may need to flip them a little.
Did you want me to move my mouth?
Yeah, you have to move your mouth like you're doing it.
Okay, next time I'll play along.
Okay, let's check our veggies. They're probably darn near done.
Your
Sorry,
mom's
Reese.
in the chat and she says, that child eats every darn thing I have ever given him.
What was it you made him like a whole breakfast the other day? He eats breakfast at the daycare. This is looking nice. Everything's nice and cooked. The rice is thawed. Really, you want to make sure everything's thawed because there's not much cooking to go on here. And now we can put it in a bowl and we'll see if we want to add more seasoning. I'm going to squeeze on some lime. So let's just come over here and we'll do it in front of everybody. Hold on a second. These are those fast, easy meals. Okay. I need a little squeezer. Okay, so check it out. Here it is up close. You got all kinds of starch, veggies. You can serve this over greens if you wanted to. Whatever suits you.
See, I love the way that those fire roasted onions and peppers look in that mix.
Yeah, it
They
really does look
stand
good.
out.
I'm not going to say anything negative about them because that was a long time ago, and you're still holding me to that. It's not very fair. My only complaint about them once upon a time was that they were like bigger chunks. So then they don't work for every meal maybe, but they work for a lot.
I really love those, and I really love the char roasted corn they have in the freezer section.
Yeah.
And those frozen artichoke hearts, we stock up on those too.
Yep, that one's on the list. We're going to this afternoon. Squeeze on a little lime. Let's test this out. Oh, we could throw on some avocado. That's optional. This is a great meal already. It's going to fill you up. Like I said, you can put it over greens if you want to get those greens in. And you can modify this too, you don't have to use the peppers and onions. You can use rice, beans, cauliflower, and broccoli mix. It's whatever you like. That's really the big thing. I'm all about people need to figure out what things are their favorites. And we make it so our recipes can so easily be modified to work for whatever those things are. So you can just imagine something else.
Right, or the people that don't have the Trader Joe's near them and they have different items in their store.
Yeah, it is a bummer when they're sometimes out of things. That's why I order their soy milk in about 10 cases at a time, and it lasts me almost a year.
But Dill, you need to put a little chili lime just on the avocado for color.
Ooh. Let's get our chili lime.
I'm more of like the Instagram photo person than
Really? Are you a big Instagram photo girl? I don't know that. I don't know about that. Here we go. A little chili lime on our avocado. This chili lime is an awesome one too.
If you've ever had tahini, which is very salty,
yeah,
this is just like tahini but without salt.
And yeah, it's tahini without salt. You said it. It's really good on fruit, everything.
Ooh,
it's
watermelon.
Really good on everything.
Yum.
Okay, let's have a bite of this one, and then we'll make our mac.
So many people are saying, I would throw that into a wrap or eat it with tortilla chips.
Yes, great ideas. Yes, we're going to be doing a wrap, a pita tomorrow on the show. We're going to make a sun-dried tomato pesto from scratch using the dried, bagged, sun-dried tomatoes that you can also get at Trader Joe's. And now, if you bite into this in any dish, it's hot. And it tastes like there's not enough punch of flavor. What do? You just add some more seasoning right on top. Usually the problem, the thing people don't realize, especially if you're new, is that you really do need to season your food more when you've taken out the salt, the oil, the sugar. Most of the stuff you get at the store or at a restaurant has all of those things packed into one dish and not a lot of flavor from the actual food. So when you're making food like us, don't be afraid to use a tablespoon instead of what you might be used to, a teaspoon.
Mary Dawn's asking,
Delicious.
For the mac and cheese, can our cheese sauce be made without the cashews?
Oh yeah. You don't need a lot of people only add water to our cheese sauce mix, and that's it. That's actually how I designed it when I first made the cheese sauce. The directions were that you only add water, because I was making it really plain and simple.
Tanya says the spice mixes are great on hummus too.
Oh
the
yeah.
Stardust on hummus is mind-blowing. So I agree with you, Tanya.
Nice. Yeah, this is really good. Reebs, you want to? It's so citrusy and light. I really enjoy it. You could also throw our sriracha as part of the deal. You could dash on just a little bit of sriracha and mix that in, and that'll give it a little heat. Excellent. Fast, easy meal. There's really no excuse, am I right?
You're not wrong.
All right, are you ready for, let's check these again, actually. Oh, we're on the right. I don't have a close-up Breville can.
I see them steaming.
Oh, they are still steaming, which usually means they're not going to be quite done. But let me pull them out and just take a peek, because they are definitely getting darker now. Okay, they're starting to, this is where maybe I will stir them. Let me get a spatula or something. So let's give them one little toss and turn, and we'll see. Yep, they're starting to get crispy.
Oh, I can hear the crunch.
Some of the more exposed areas where it wasn't more layered up, like this little piece. Ooh, that's good flavor. So now that they've shrunk a bit, why don't we just try and instead of giving them a turn, they might just need to be spread out a little more so that the air is getting through to everything. And then it probably only needs a few more minutes.
Meg asked what started us on our plant-based journey, if we have time to get to that question.
It's up to AJ. That's a couple hours, that story.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to talk about it, but you know, one question was submitted in advance by email from Trisha, and she said, how were you able to find co-packer so easily for your products, and do you ever anticipate being sold in stores?
Okay. I didn't find, who said it was easy?
I mean,
no, I know, not you. I'm just being sarcastic, but no, it was very hard, and it continues to be hard. And I want to make more, products that will have to be processed by different co-packers. I think ultimately I would like to have my own facility where we can, for example, we can kosher certify more easily. So a lot of people want organic. Those kinds of things would be easier if I'm the one sourcing it, but that is a big job. I'd have to hire some people. So that's why we've used co-packers, and it works really well. You know, I go to the co-packers sometimes, especially if we're making new products or we want to tweak a recipe or something. Then I just go there, and it works. But
you don't worry that they'll take your recipe and start making it. I've heard that story from people.
No, if I was in stores and like really big, oops, we need more time on this. But I'm quite close with them. Like the main guy at my co-packer is my friend now. So I don't think they would ever do that. The discretion and keeping people's secrets secret is a big part of being a co-packer. And if any of that got out, your whole reputation's ruined, and what's the point? So I don't think that they would want to do something like that. Also, we're pretty niche, like there's not a lot of people this isn't like the group that you're going to get rich off of. Okay. We're a small group. That's why I haven't had any motivation to sell in stores. I really like how we sell directly to our customers and we ship. So the customer service experience is fantastic. Everybody's really, if a bottle breaks, you're getting a replacement right away, things like that. Whereas if you're in a store, there's a lot of hassle. Plus, if any store cancels you and you're in like 1,000 of their supermarkets, then your whole business is changed overnight. With Well Your World, we're growing constantly, but we're doing it organically and gradually, and it's not this like overwhelming, crazy stress thing. And I'm not, if someone's upset about something, you got like I said, a bad bottle or something, that's easy. If a whole truckload of something there's a mishap, then that affects so many stores, and it's like you're just asking for a lot more stress. So I really like the business model that we have, and it works well. And plus, you gotta wonder, like, are there enough people going to all of these different stores that are going to be interested in, healthy products like this, or do they just want whatever? A lot of healthy products that are marketed healthy on the labels, they're not healthy. You know that, but they still dupe people just the same. And it's our little group of people, including all the people on watching right now that are the ones that really know how to see through all that. And I think that's what makes us special, because we're part of the audience. We're part of the group. We're not just trying to sell to you. Okay, we got to cook some pasta. If we're going to keep talking and tell our story, then we should at least cook some pasta at the same time. Reebs, why don't you tell us how you went plant-based?
I mean, the short version is I went plant-based because I'm lazy and I didn't want to learn how to cook with all these intricate techniques. But I mean, just to back it up, after I got out of college, I realized I didn't know how to cook at all, and I didn't know what healthy eating was. So I watched a few documentaries, and then I stumbled upon the starch solution because I was like really confused about how to eat in my house. And I read the starch solution and I was like, oh, I can just eat potatoes? That's super easy. I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna give that a shot. And I did like the starch solution. I challenged myself to 1 month of doing it, and it was so easy for me as like a newbie cook. And I didn't have to learn how to like put olive oil in my pan and get everything all dirty, because I'm kind of like a clean freak in the kitchen, and I was like confused about like cross-contamination, and it just like all seemed like too complicated and overwhelming. So anyone that ever says like that this way of eating or cooking is hard, I can't agree at all, because I think this is the most simple way to cook and eat that exists, and the cheapest.
There you go. That's a pretty cool way to start. I mean, you didn't start because you had a serious health issue.
No, but I did have some health issues that ended up getting a lot better. I mean, like well into my 20s, way past teenage years, I had really bad acne. And I just thought, it's genetics, you know, my mom had it, my dad had it, and then I'll just wear makeup because I can't get it to go away. But as soon as I stopped drinking milk, it went away. And I wasn't trying to clear it up. I had really bad migraines that I used to get every month, and that went away too. I wasn't expecting these things to happen because they weren't, you know, they weren't bothersome enough that it affect my day-to-day, but it got a lot better, and I was like, wow, well, this is really cool. So now I'm definitely on board.
Nice. And my story is that about 10 years ago, I turned vegan because I read the China study. So I did it initially for health reasons, but I kind of misread the message. I just thought, take out the animal products, anything else goes. And that's obviously, there's way more to health than just removing animal products. There's so much other total garbage that I was eating for like 3 years before I found the starch solution, because my mom had high cholesterol and she's like, hey, you're doing this plant-based thing for health. I need help. Let's do it. And that's when we read the starch solution together in like 2 days, and we immediately did a 30-day challenge. We're like, look, we just spent 2 days reading this book. You know, not a lot of time invested. Let's do this. Let's just jump in and try it out. And if it's BS like we think it is, then we'll keep on working on it, find the next solution. Well, that was the solution. The starch solution was the solution. And like 10 days into our 30-day challenge, I was like, this is the way. I feel so much better. I don't care what the blood work says, because I just knew it was going to get better, and it did. We both dropped 40 points off our cholesterol in 1 month. I lost like 15 pounds in the first month, like 10 pounds the next month. I was like, wow, I didn't have any weight loss goals. That just happened. And so it was really something. The results were, and my energy level, the way I actually felt, that's what hooked me first. So I was just hoping the blood work would be good, and I couldn't believe we dropped 40 points in a month. So that was when I was like, okay, I gotta start telling everybody about this. And then I did, and boy did I regret that, because if you know, you know. You don't really want to tell people about this. You might let them ask questions if they really want to know. You can tell if they really want to know about it. But I pissed off a lot of family members trying to convert everybody, friends, everybody, and then I just shut my mouth because nobody wanted to hear it. And I was really kind of depressed about that, because I like talking about it. This is like the key to health. Why wouldn't I want to talk about it? And they're getting crunchy, but they still need another minute. So then that's when I decided to make YouTube videos. So when I started making YouTube videos, it was to soothe my own soul first. And because I had no outlet, I had no one to talk to about this. The communities were small. AJ, you were around making YouTube videos then, and I watched your YouTube videos when I got started. And when I finally got to meet you, it was awesome because you were inspired me, you know. And McDougall and Dr. Lyle and Dr. Goldhammer, you guys were my watch all day long to keep me on it, to feel like I had some sense of community. You know, the live streaming and the chat boxing wasn't there then, really. That kind of came around, and that's when I started doing the live cooking show back in 2018. And so, but making videos, which I started about a little less than a year after I started eating healthy, is when I started making videos, and then my life changed. You know, I didn't. That was 2017. You know, I was making videos for almost 2 years before I tried to quit my regular job and move to this as my job. So, but for just that couple of years, just making the videos and connecting with people who appreciated the message saved me. It kept me on it, but it also just kept me from losing my mind. And I needed that support. I couldn't just do it by myself. And most people we have found also need support. And that's really the value of these live shows and getting everybody together. And our Friday show, our Thursday hangout that we'll do today, it's just us sitting here shooting the shit. People ask questions, you know, we get off on tangents. Reebs' hair, we talked about earlier here today. It's like that. And it's a sense of community. It's people feeling like they belong. And I think that we underestimate the power of that and the importance of that in our lives. The pasta's probably about done, like I expected. Let's check it out. This is where's the box? This is my favorite brand of pasta. It's the Barilla, and it's the red lentil penne. This is a gluten-free. They also have a chickpea. I like these so much because they keep their form really well. They don't overcook and turn to mush like even whole wheat pasta would. I do really like whole wheat pasta, but Reebs sticks to mostly gluten-free because of sensitivity. And so this pasta was an obvious, why wouldn't I go to that? Let's check the kale chips because, hey, like I said, the pasta can keep cooking, no big deal.
Tanya says, well, your world products allow me to freestyle with the CSA produce I get.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's cool. I like to hear that. Like we were saying, you know your CSA is not going to be messing with your produce. Even if it's not organic, most CSAs are organic. They're not using garbage because these are small farmers. They're very passionate about growing healthy food. So CSA is a great option if you can get it reliably. I haven't put effort into that because I'm so busy that I just rely on the grocery store to be my rock, you know? But if I had more time, I would definitely be more I wanted to start my own urban farm. At the same time as starting YouTube, I had a property that we now use, we have a warehouse on, but I was going to turn it into a little urban farm, and that was going to be my shtick, and I was going to make videos about that. If you go to my oldest videos, there are some with me setting it up, and obviously I didn't keep going. Now we lease out part of the space, and other people are using it to grow food, which is cool. But anyway, these chips are really good if you want to talk about the food. They did get nice and crunchy. Check it out. You can hear it. Nice chips.
Paula says, I went SOS-free as a challenge to help my sister lose weight and get off insulin and prednisone, but I felt so much better, so I stuck with it.
Wow, that's a really gracious move. That's really impressive. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all that you realized it and stuck to it. These are really excellent. They have a nice bite. The nutritional yeast is lovely, but you could have used this, for example, the Calypso instead of nutritional yeast. Any of our spice blends, any of our not our spice blends.
Feel lemon pepper. Feel like a tang.
These are excellent. You should try one. Here, Reeves.
Oh, nice.
They're really, I love this texture. I didn't totally dry them out. I could have put them in for another minute or two, but I like the crispy and the chewy parts together.
Ooh,
that's
the
nice.
Sriracha spice. Ooh.
The Sriracha has got a little bite. But the nice thing about the Sriracha, it doesn't linger. It's not like some hot things that you feel like you gotta go drink water all day long to get it to go away, or soy milk. Okay, let's make this mac. Boom, we're gonna make a cheese sauce. This is the fastest, easiest recipe. All we've done so far, we've cooked the pasta. Now I take my blender canister and I put a few little additives that I like to do for our cheese sauce, especially since we're making a Cajun cheese sauce here. So I do use a little quarter cup is a little handful of cashews. If you don't want to use them, you can either leave them out and then you'll just use more cheese sauce mix to thicken it up because this has potatoes in it. Or you can use white beans, cooked cauliflower, cooked carrots.
It certainly doesn't need anything
Cooked butternut squash.
Though.
Right. This just adds richness. It's for flavor, not for texture. Okay. And then I don't add the cheese sauce. This is the last thing that I add. And then I'm going to put in about, we put on 4 teaspoons. There are a couple. I do, a little more than I call for all the time because I like things quite seasoned. And our voodoo is our Cajun mix. It has a little bit of our date powder in it, so it has a little bit of sweetness, but not a lot. And it's just a really awesome flavor for anything. And it's quite ground, so you can sprinkle it on the food at the table after it's done. You can cook with it, whatever. Really, this is one of my favorite spice blends that we've come up with. And it was a customer request. They're like, hey, this one Cajun mix I like, but it's full of salt and sugar. So we fixed that. And that is part of the bundle, by the way. This is the bundle. We've got 20% off right now on our store, wellyourworld.com. Calypso, Sriracha, Voodoo, all 20% off in a bundle. You can't miss it when you go to the website. Okay. Now, I don't measure anything with this cheese sauce. I do have directions on here in case you need to know how to do it and you're new. But what I do is I just add as much water as I'm gonna want. For a pack of pasta, I know that it's about that much liquid, which is maybe 1.5 cups to 2 cups. Just depends how saucy you like it. Rebecca likes it quite saucy. And then I'll just start by adding a little bit of cheese sauce mix, not too much, and then blend it. And I can see from here, the way it moves around in the canister, that it does not have enough cheese sauce mix because it's really liquidy. So you just keep adding cheese sauce mix until it thickens up to a cheese sauce. Still need some more. I did put an amount on this recipe though, so you don't have to guess if you don't want. And you could, maybe just a little more. It just looked a little liquidy. You can, there's a wide window of how thick you can make this. It's totally up to you. You could also whisk it, except that if you have cashews, you gotta blend them, obviously. Okay, pasta's probably cooked, so I'm gonna go back to the stove. We'll strain this out, and I'm gonna put it right back. Yeah, looks good, looks good. I'm gonna put it right back into the same pot. So we're just gonna strain out the liquid. What else?
Lori says, none of my friends or family is plant-based either. My community is also the plant-based YouTubers. I'm glad you're there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think it's very common. I don't know what I was thinking, that everybody was just gonna switch to my way of eating, but somehow in my head it seemed like it made sense, and it didn't work out. Oh, I didn't put the miso paste in the cheese sauce. I'll just throw that in. You don't need it. It's fine. Leave it out. But that just adds a little bit of saltiness if you want a little bit of saltiness. It's totally up to you. Okay, now we got the pasta over there. I'm gonna dump this whole thing of cheese sauce in. Did I go to the right one? Yeah. Throwing all this in. We don't need the heat. That was an accident. Oh, I need my spatula. Sorry, I'm left-handed. You can't see this, but I'm just scraping all the rest of this cheese sauce in.
Look at all the good stuff we get to eat. Chips, mac and cheese.
There you go.
Who said that we're deprived?
A little rinse of your blender. You don't want to clean that blender when it gets crusty. Let's just give it a little spray.
Dylan's a real stickler about keeping things clean.
Have you ever thought of, Dylan, have you thought about crumbling the chips, the kale chips on top of the macaroni?
I'd love to do that. Let's make sure we do that. Don't let me forget. Okay, now I've got 2 more items that are winners. This is the no salt added Rotel. Reebs, was it Walmart where you found it?
Yeah, Walmart of all places.
Oh, come on now. Give us that focus. Rotel, no salt added. Let me tell you what the ingredients are. This is tomatoes, water, chopped green chili peppers, and then the citric acid and cilantro too. Okay. So a can of no salt kidney beans that I've just rinsed, and a can of the Rotel. I'm throwing it in, and we're just gonna mix it all together. There's a little liquid in the Rotel, but not really. Not like a can of diced tomatoes has a lot of juice. And now just stir this up. I also did, oh, I forgot to do my seasoning blend with the pasta.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we're over here talking about our story, let me just tell you. So in the last few minutes, when I made this before, in the last few minutes of cooking the pasta, I threw in a frozen bag of chopped okra. That was really good. It goes with the whole Cajun theme. But what I was gonna do today was this bag of seasoning blend, which is celery, yellow onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and parsley flakes. But I forgot to throw it in, so I'm gonna just put it back in the freezer, and we'll do it next time. There's still lots. We got the tomatoes with the green chili. We've got the kidney beans in there. We're gonna top it with kale chips, apparently, maybe some chopped green onions. Let me chop these really fast. That one's funk on the end. And you're gonna find that this is a really satisfying way of prepping mac and cheese.
I just like that if you forget an item like you just did, you don't sweat it. Oh well, save it for next time.
Oh yeah, everything is so flexible with the way that we eat, and it's not like you're gonna miss something. It's just fun ways to dress things up. Maybe I'll chop, here's some parsley. Now, if I'm just eating during the week, am I putting green onions and chopped parsley on top? No, I sure am not. I'm just eating it like that. I'm doing the fastest way possible. If we want to make it pretty like this, sprinkle on some color, then I'll do this. And then that way it's totally up to you. You can see all the different ways to do it and choose whatever is best for you. How much time do you have that day for lunch, you know? Okay, let's make a bowl.
Cassandra says, gosh, I could never skip the green onion.
You could throw green onions right into this mix too. Normally I would have had those onions like from the freezer bag. Okay.
Loaded
man,
mac
so
and
good.
cheese. You know, there's a restaurant around here that serves a mac and cheese like that for about $14 a bowl, and I don't even want to guess how much grams of fat it has inside.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, a little bit of parsley. Oh, we gotta do the kale chips. We got some green onions on top. We already have tomatoes in the mix. Looking good, hey?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's grab some of these crunchy chips. Now you could literally just break them up right on top.
I love this idea.
Great idea, folks. We get a lot of our ideas during the cooking show from our viewers that are watching, chiming in. Here it is. Mac and cheese. Okay, the kale chips, you're hiding all the mac and cheese though. There we go. Now you can kind of see it. All right, let's have a taste.
That looks yummy.
Oh, the voodoo is so good. This one is really good. I hope you guys try that one.
You know, you can take
So good.
You can take our other spice blends, like our Fiesta blend, and put it in cheese to make like a Latin cheese sauce. We did like a Cajun cheese sauce. So it's fun that you can like mix and match the products too.
This is so good. This is totally SOS-free. The only S I was going to add was a little bit of miso. Has some salt, but it really does not need it. You could add, if you wanted it to have like a citrusy flavor, just squeeze on a lime or a lemon right now. If you want a little more fat, we did have a little bit of cashews in the sauce, but you could just top it with avocado, a little chopped avocado. Sometimes pine nuts are fun. We're gonna make this tomato pesto tomorrow and play around with pine nuts. Pine nuts are a little expensive, but that's a flavorful option too when you just want to add a little pizzazz on top. So good. Don't worry, it's not too hot. Have a try.
Okay. Ooh, look at all these ingredients.
Oh, dang, I'm going to eat like 3 bowls of that when we get off
The
the camera.
rotel, the beans, yum. Did you guys know they make a no salt rotel?
I
I
didn't.
didn't know that. That's incredible. Is
That's
this a newer product? Wow.
I don't know if it's new, Reebs. You made it sound like it's been around a while.
I think it's been around.
I've seen rotel, and I've been to Winco where they have rotel, and I've looked at it, and it's like full of salt. But I didn't know they had a no salt one. That's cool. What do you think?
It's so delicious. It's just, it tastes like comfort food. Exactly. Now there's the crunchy kale on top. Oh, that's delicious.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
It's like I can't put it down.
There's the bundle, folks. 20% off wellyourworld.com. This is our cooking show for tomorrow. If you haven't checked out our show, please sign up, join us, try it out for just 1 month. It's $15 for a month, and you get 2 live cooking shows every single month. We've done 2 shows every month since I started this in 2018. I've never missed a show, and I have no plans to ever miss a show. And you get back episodes too. You get we've done 119 shows already, if you can believe it. And you get access to all of the previous episodes. And we also have some cookbooks. Check out our cookbooks, wellyourworld.com/cookbooks. We'll jump you right to where our cookbooks are. You can get them in digital format. If you're not in the USA, if you're in the USA, you can get our print versions of the cookbooks. And the nice thing is when you buy the print version, it includes the digital version as well. Okay? What else do I got to tell you? Try out our products. Oh, here's some details. You can come back to this, but you get a 10% discount on the shows. Like I said, all the previous episodes and everything. There are all the details for you. And that's us. We'd love, at the very least, please join our newsletter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love your support. Hit us with a comment on one of our videos. We have some travel this month, so we pre-recorded a few videos. I've got some plant rants coming up. I think on Tuesday I'm going to be talking about neuroadaptation in your taste buds and getting used to eating less rich food. And then we've got some videos where Reebs and I are sitting down talking about plant-based myths coming up. That's a really fun one, and various others. We're going to the NHA conference next week. We're going to be speaking on stage. If you don't know the NHA, go to healthscience.org. But that's where we're going to be next week. It's the only conference we go to these days, post-pandemic world. I guess there are others, but I don't know about them. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Again, these recipes are down below for free. Just click and you'll have the PDF pop up and you can try all these recipes.
This has been great. Thank you guys so much. I love your presentations and I love your products and I love your food and I love you.
I love you too. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow for The Doctor Is In.